What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Halving Report podcast. I am your host, Brad Bynes. The price of Bitcoin is $25.8 thousand US, and there's only about 209 days left until the next Bitcoin halving. Today, we welcome Viktoriia Miracle onto the show. Viktoriia and I met at the Blockchain Futurist Conference. She is the Chief Communications Officer for Cheelee. Cheelee is a platform that offers users an incentive, a native token that they offer to their users and content creators for watching and creating content on their platform. This is a really good alternative to platforms like TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Reels, because once you're done watching the videos, you're actually left with something, a tradable token at the end of the day. This is a very interesting conversation I have with Viktoriia that extends beyond Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I invite all of you to join the conversation right to the very end. So without further ado, everybody, welcome Viktoriia Miracle to the Halving Report podcast. Viktoriia, welcome to the Halving Report podcast. Thanks for doing this tonight.
Hello. Thank you for having me over.
Yeah, it was awesome meeting you at the Futurist Conference. So I just want to start off by asking you, how did you like the conference? And, was that your first year there? And just what was your overall experience?
On the Futurist Conference, it was my first year. But if you count, I don't know, over 20, 30, 50 conferences in the last couple of years, this one of my favorite ones. And I'll tell you why.
Wow.
Well, the first thing is everything was located at one location. And I think it really helps. And they had like really cool cabanas and pool. There was a place for stages. There was a place for a booth. There was like outside space to see food areas, and it was all located in one big thing, as well as everybody was there during the day, and then everybody else moved on the evening time to like a bars and side events. So it was very easy to network, and that is not like super spread out because it was a little bit far, like not far away, but on a different side of the town. It was just little on the side, so everybody was there and everything was there. So there was enough space to do private meetings. There was enough space to have fun, talk to people, network. And that's because why? Because I don't like to move around too much. And like one meeting is on one side of the town, another meeting on another side of the town. So I think this is like one of the best and like a nice vibe on the summer conferences and a great city. I loved Toronto for first time for me.
Awesome.
And the second one, because it's a way, way less weird scammy projects compared to other years. This year was very nice. It's so much easier to do business with. And that's a third thing that I really loved. So much easier to do business with because they're all extra the hundreds of people that are not interested in building blockchain space in general and the Web3 space, and came here like last year's for just the sake of earnings. There was not there. So it's amazing. You meet every person, pretty much every person. You have an amazing conversation, and they're working on something very interesting.
I asked you about your experiences with podcasting, and you mentioned that you were doing a podcast for quite a bit, and you did quite a few episodes. I think you said 200 and something like that, which is very impressive because from what I've learned, a lot of podcasts make it past a certain point. Can you tell us about what your podcast was about, and the name of it, and what did you learn along the way?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, it was 244 podcasts that I've done in 1 year. It was a daily podcast, and it started with like 15 minutes because what I realized, it was a COVID time, but like end of the COVID time. What I've learned from the COVID time, people started releasing everybody those podcasts, and they were so long, and everybody tried to hustle and build businesses online. And just like my podcast, and I worked with entrepreneurs, I just don't have time to listen for 40 minutes podcast. And I was like, wow, there's no podcast that has like 10 minutes or 12 minutes and like some amazing insights on the business, on how to build business online. So I was working with women communities online and in person as well. And I worked with solopreneurs, women from like 1 to 5 maximum size of the companies, and supported them in building brands and like a tech online and everything. like a back end, marketing campaigns, and all of this, like emails. So I started podcast with basically my ideal clients and learned a lot from them along the way. What they build it, just being one man show, one woman show, and it was about how what they learned from building business, what they can advise to those that's starting a business, and some funny question. You have to go and listen to it to understand. That was the same question that I ask everybody. It was the last question. So it was 12 to 15 minutes. It started from woman, and then it emerged to finance a little bit more, because I personally wanted to learn more about finance, and I didn't find a better way. I just decided to change my podcast, and as well as a lot of business entrepreneurs, women wanted to learn about finance. So I was like, I'm just gonna interview people and learn about it and share with my audience. So I moved it a little bit into financial side. And at the end, before I started building companies in crypto, in blockchain, it was more about blockchain. But that was, I think, like a last 10 episodes, maybe last 15. And they were a little longer. There was like 30, 40 minutes. So yeah, you can go listen. It's called Happy Time, Happy Money. It's available everywhere, on Spotify, Apple, like wherever the podcast available is there. So just Google it and you can hear some cool interviews. There was amazing people I've interviewed.
Very cool. So shifting now to your current role at Cheelee, you are the Chief Communications Officer. Can you just break it down, explain very simply, what is Cheelee?
Yes, Cheelee, it's a short video content platform, social media short video content platform. So, guys, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, like a short video content. So that's very similar. But the difference is between us and TikTok is that you all know, right, that they're paying content creators. Like they have a fund that goes and they pay content creators. Where they're paying money from? Advertisers. So, but for why advertisers gives money to those platforms? Because they want the people, eyeballs, attention on their ads, on their advertising. So basically, if we think about it, right, the people that watching ads is the product, and that I think they have to be rewarded, but nobody paying it, like Twitter, former Twitter X, TikTok, Instagram, nobody rewards the users to actually who watching the content and who is the product. So we do. And that's the biggest difference and differentiator between Cheelee and TikTok, that you can earn from watching feed and be rewarded as a user despite number of subscribers and despite content creation part.
Cool. So it kind of gives a sort of an incentive for people, for regular just users, plain old users, to kind of come on board there and watch your videos there and get rewarded in your token, right? You guys have your own token? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Brad, one question. Like, have you ever, used the app? Because for me, and that's where I was drawn personally to our company, because when I was watching content, I don't watch it as much, but when I was younger, I was watching more content, the social media was popping up. I will go there maybe for like 5 minutes. Sometimes it will end up in an hour, and then I will close the app and I'll get this feeling of like, I just wasted my time. Did you ever get it? Like, I totally get it all the time. And that's like a huge problem. That's why I'm not much on social media.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, that's I think a very common issue with human beings today is being distracted, and we get distracted by videos. We spend more time than we need to on our phones, and kind of disconnecting from nature, and nothing to show for it at the end of the day. Where I guess I kind of see where you're connecting your Cheelee now, whereas at the end of it, when you're left with something rather than nothing at the end.
Yes, at least, because we were still gonna go and watch and spend time on social media. It's just it is gonna be there, because sometimes you want to have some relaxed time, just like no thinking, no focusing, just like some fun. It's really entertaining. It's fun, right? But at least I feel like after I watch content on Cheelee, that I don't waste my time. At least I get some sort of reward back. So yeah, and we do have reward our users in our own token. It's called lead token. So yeah, we can talk about more later if you want to.
Well, sure. I mean, like, is it listed on any notable exchanges, or how can people just buy the token as an investment, or do people do that, or is it more of just kind of users exchanging? I assume you have a built-in wallet.
We have a app, right? Then we have a wallet, as well as we have a marketplace, NFT marketplace. Because NFT plays the role of, underlying role of you buying NFT, and then we can see how much you watch the content and reward you back to the NFT. And you can also sell your glasses. We call them digital virtual glasses, the NFT. So that is things that we build it for the exchanges. We listed on 6 exchanges. One of the Bitmart, you said notable. I think Bitmart, it's one on the biggest one, like Max. And you can go on CoinMarketCap or Crypto Ranking and find the exchanges over there, the ones that you liked.
Very cool. So what about content creators? Is there any more incentive to be paid in the token rather than by advertisers, with your competitors?
Yeah. 100%. Like as a content creator, I've had marketing agency before, and I understand how much work it takes to create content. Like one podcast interview, it's insane. You have to get ready, connect with the person. Like for you, those that don't know, right? You're connecting with the person, you're figuring out some questions maybe, so you don't silently sit down and, then you editing, if it needs to be edited, then you also preparing a copy, bullet points, thanks to AI. Now it's so much easier, right? Before I was having all people to do this or myself. And then you have to post it and push it out and create a title, create a photo for the video. Like it's so much that you're hearing at the end. It looks so simple, but it's so much work. And like for TikTok, for example, on TikTok, people, there's a creator, I don't remember the name, but she have over 160,000 followers. And she had a video, it was a very popular video, 1.6 million. You know how much she earned from 1.6 million views? $88 from the TikTok. She got paid $88. It's like nothing.
Oh my God.
But how much people get 1.6 million views? Not many.
Yeah, well, most don't, I would say. Although I mean, a lot of people have made a name for themselves on TikTok, but still the majority of people aren't getting those kind of views. I saw something else where a lady had over 1 million followers or something on TikTok, and then they had some sort of public meetup, and nobody showed up, and so
Oh
so
my
it's
God.
yeah. So I mean, I think sometimes things can be deceiving on these new platforms. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So, creators, well, I mean, for why should creators switch to our platform? Because first they earn money, right? It's a little bit more clear. By the end of the year, I think around that, we will release our transparent, content, creators' earnings, right? For now, as a user, you can earn money. And then for you all to understand, users earn money on our platform, right? So they will have money already in the platform. And when you all come, the content creators, and they can, the users that already got money, they can spend it right there. They can donate it to you. So it's so much easier when you have already earned money inside of the platform, rather than on TikTok, you have to send money in. So it's already, it's a little harder to say goodbye to this money, basically, right, on psychology. So it's so much better when users are already earning on the platform, and you as a content creator creating platform, they can donate to you. So that's one of the features that coming out soon. And so we're basically shortening the path of the money coming. So it's so much easier for people to spend money on the platform. Yeah. That's one of the biggest, I will say, for content creators. But also, look, there is so many. So there's a 4.9 billion users of the social media in the world. And from 60 to 35 years old, 60% of the people want to be influencers. Isn't that amazing? 60%. I'm pretty sure if you have a brother,
Wow.
sister, nephew, and a niece, is like, just ask them who they want to be. Most of them say influencer, content creator.
Yeah.
So, but then where right now you will go and start post content where you can become popular fast. You don't need much investment,
Cheelee.
right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You got it point right. On TikTok, it's so hard. On YouTube, it's so hard. On Instagram, it's impossible. Like, you have to spend so much time, which is money and the time, to create all of this content and like such a good quality. The competition is getting harder and harder. It's just so hard. So yeah, right now on Cheelee, it's one of the platforms that for now will give you, a much easier way to become more famous as a content creators or users.
Well, what's your user base look like? Like, is there a certain demographic? Is there an age group? How many? I'm not sure if you're allowed to share what kind of numbers people are active on a daily basis.
Yeah. What we have, I'm just getting through my mind. On a Monday, I think update it was a last week update. We have over 700,000 users, and we launch in most of the CIS region. So basically, it's for now, it's over there. We're doing an actual launch in Kazakhstan. If you're in Kazakhstan or you have friends in Kazakhstan, text them and ask them in 3 weeks, do they know about Cheelee or not? They will tell you they know. We're driving a huge marketing campaign there. So everybody will know what's Cheelee, on this market. And I can share with you why we chose it. It's not like our team is there. No, we have some people there, but not many of our team is not there. But over 700,000. I think most of our users I know was in Turkey, like Kazakhstan now it's picking up. There is just some Europe and CIS region. I think India was there as well as Pakistan. And so that's like a top among users. And the daily active users, we have over 50,000. I think it's 47 something thousand, which is grows, every day as well. And demographic, I wouldn't lie because I don't remember numbers, but we have statistics, but I don't have a spreadsheet right in front of me. It's a younger generation, right? It's from 16 anywhere like 16, 30s. That's the most of our user base for sure.
Yeah, no, it's it definitely seems like a platform that's kind of used by not people in my direct line of communication on a daily basis. I'm like I said, I'm up in Canada here, so I don't even think you guys are. I don't think you can use the wallet service here. They're you guys have a list of countries that you don't operate in, and Canada was on that list I saw. So I'm not sure, maybe the States, but I can still go on. I can still watch the videos. I just don't think. I'm not sure, maybe you know more detail, but I just don't think you can use the actual wallet feature of sending the token for probably tighter financial regulations here than some of those other countries that you were just naming with all your active users there. Do you have any thoughts around that?
Yeah, well, then the countries that we don't operate, or there's a financial regulations. There are, like you said, there are on our user agreement, so you can totally read it. So if if your country is not there, you can totally use it. I mean, I'm not giving anybody any advice. You can use anything in the world you want, with things that, we all know, like VPN and different things, but it's all on your responsibility. Because I don't know what's the regulations in Canada. I'm in the United States and I'm citizen here, so I'm closely following the regulations here now, not the other countries.
Okay, you better be careful what you recommend to the Canadian authorities might come after you. You never know.
I don't recommend to do anything for anybody. No recommendations. There's never financial advice on anything I say or
we'll put a big fat disclaimer about that.
Right. We have a disclaimer. Great. We have it. You got it.
Absolutely. My next question is about Cheelee. Where are you guys at in terms of functionality and, what things can users look forward to being implemented in the future?
So we have a donation that is coming out. There's a live streams coming out as well that you can, donation button. There's a few things coming out, there are all coming out different ways. There's a seedless wallet as well. So it's so easy to use for Web2 users. And that's why we call we are a mass adoption application, because we are designed to help the audience of social media to, segue them to, it's an easy window and a door for Gen Z to start like getting introduced to crypto, but in a way in web blockchain, right? On a way that is not dangerous, or they can, forget things, or they can lose things, so somebody can steal anything. Like, we're making it so easy. So that's one thing, right? And as well, in the future, we're releasing our ads manager, like editing videos with like cool, features with like AI. We have some AI features that is coming out, but you have to stay closely and watch our news to see what's coming out sooner. Now, if you have iPhone and you download our app, and please do it, and please leave a review, because I'm so curious. I know while I was with you in the Canada and the Future Conference, App Store has very different app stores everywhere. So the reviews you see in Canada will be different from what I see in America, and the ratings, it's also very different. So, which just makes it so much harder right now. There's a lot of developers like complaining to App Store about this, and I don't think we have any yet reviews that written in Canada. Do you remember, Brad, when you was downloading?
Yeah. So I remember us looking at it when I was downloading the app with you and checking it out, and yeah, like, because on your phone it said there was like all these reviews on the App Store, but then when I looked on my phone, I guess because it's whatever Canadian based, there was like only a couple. I don't think it was 0. I thought there was like 3 or 4, something like that. But
that's
I
good.
thought so. I'd have to check it out after.
Yes, so
after
please download it. It and leave a review. Like, we want to know what you guys think, and what we can improve always. Absolutely. You can always like DM me and tell me anything you think about app. I'm pretty responsive. I try to stay up to date with my DMs everywhere, and communicate as much as I can with our users. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now, just because a big theme of what we're doing here, like Bitcoin, GameFi, DeFi, what you guys are doing, a big ethos is decentralization. So your platform is a centralized application. However, you use a decentralized token, but the actual app itself is hosted. Where would that be hosted?
We are on BNB chain. That's our tech stack. Like, we're on BNB chain. We use wallet and token. That's the blockchain part. We're hosting our video on centralized part right now, but we are also looking into hosting database in decentralized manner, because then it's more secure. And I'm actually was talking, and I'm bringing that partnership and integration with somebody that I know in San Francisco that building really amazing network for like database storage. It's not like a storage itself, but the database itself, it's centralized, which is super, super secure. So yeah, I mean, we're building in a way that, as of right now in blockchain, there's not everything is available. It's working smoothly and fast. But with the social media app, we only have one shot, and with every app pretty much, because when you're downloading on your phone and then you're looking at it and you're like, oh, wow, that doesn't work. That goes really bad. This video doesn't load. Like, it gives you just bad aftertaste. You don't want to, user just delete it right away, because that's what's going to happen. And that's pretty much, you have there's a maximum second shot in 5 years when you're super big and they will download it again. But usually it never happens. So we make sure that, our videos loading fast, things are working fast. And as much as we can, we do it in decentralized way. But there is still technologies that is still, we're waiting for the technologies to work properly. Like, for example, IPFS works pretty slow. Like, I've built it up, we was building up before NFT, like marketplace for restaurants and different offers, like a Groupon basically. But what we found as a big challenge it's the loading of the content itself on IPFS. When you store it, it was just so slow. It was so slow. The photo will load in a couple seconds, and it's just not acceptable when you're going through the feed. So that's why, some of the things are still not decentralized, but yeah, we're happy to move in the direction when there is a right technology.
Yes. So, well, it's a big spectrum, and it's nice to see people going in the right direction on that spectrum. Viktoriia, so you and I met at the Blockchain Futures Conference on the 15th and 16th, but you are on the road again, like you were saying before we started recording. You're going on the road again. So, what's coming up in the future for you?
Yes. So I am going to be at Korean Blockchain Week. For a week of September. And then I'm flying to Singapore from 10 to 17 September. And I'm happy to meet, if you guys there and somebody, hear that podcast timely, absolutely, send me a message, DM. I'm happy to meet and discuss, what's coming up in the blockchain space and what's exciting about it. And then I'm going to be in mainnet Messari in New York from 20 to 25th September. It's ETH New York and ETH Global in New York, right? ETH Global New York and mainnet Messari. And then later there might be a VidCon in Baltimore for content creators. So if you're a content creator, we will meet with you there. That is my closest future for September. There's a couple of days in San Francisco that I'm not going to mention.
Yeah. I mean, you're all over the place. So I guess that's all you can give us at this point, right? Just live it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Very cool. You live a interesting lifestyle. Like, how do you strike like a work-life balance?
Before I had marketing agency, I was teaching productivity. Which is such a helpful tool and to have, and to know what to do. It's just really, I think time management is the key. I really do think time management is the key, as well as not over perfecting things and give yourself a break. Like if you planned a lot of things and you're seeing that you're not finishing them up, just don't beat yourself up. And if you travel a lot, you work a lot, you have a lot of calls and you feel exhausted. Before in COVID, when I had, 10 people in my marketing agency working for me, I was just going all in 20 hours a day working, but it didn't end up well. So I highly not recommend to do anybody this. And one of my tools that is super, super hack. I wake up in the morning and I just ask myself, what is the number one thing I get to do today? That is the most important. What is the one thing? So once you get done this one thing, psychologically, it just really, you feel confident. You're okay, I can go for next one. I'm so good. I got this thing done. And it's really like a snowballing that you're starting getting things done. But when you start your day from, okay, let me think about it. Let me check my emails. Let me go through messages. And then half day pass by and you're exhausted.
Let me scroll Cheelee for a little bit.
Yeah, but that's you make money. Make money is always good.
You're working. You're basically working.
You're working. You're making money anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great point. For a morning, and I know some people have this problem of scrolling social media. But in our company, and that's actually why personally I decided to join. I usually for last 2 years I worked with a lot of pre-seed, seed stages companies, and I don't join people any companies on full time. It's just I love the traveling lifestyle and everything I build it. But this company and founders are really connected on a deeply mission level and the values. We really do care about education, and sooner once there's a little bit more funds and a little bit more people that we have that can spend time on this, we will bring way more educational content on our platform. So we do going to focus on bringing as much educational content creators, universities, schools, and that was my incentive a lot to build a department on this. So then when you wake up in the morning, you can just choose educational content in a fun, short video content way, and don't feel like you're wasting your time or ruining your day. Work day.
Definitely not. TikTok maybe. Cheelee no.
What is
Cool.
I want to know, what is your work-life balance, Brad? Like, what is your
So
advice?
so this is a hobbyist podcast for me. So I do usually a show a week, release them on Mondays, and I work a government job during the day, and so that's like a 7 to 3 type of thing. And then I kind of do these recordings. If you saw my recording calendar, you can see like they're on
Yeah.
weekends and night times. So I'm usually occupied during the day, and then I, obviously, like you said earlier, doing a podcast is a lot of work. So even though, depending on the recording, we're at a half hour of footage. So, obviously I'll go through that and do everything that is required to launch a decent podcast. But you're right, though. AI has been a big tool too. And that was actually a theme I kept coming up at the conference. AI, and just all these different AI tools that people are using. I do the Chat GPT. I use that as like an assistant. I'd rather do that than Google. It just seems like so much more practical to me to just type in like that. Especially
You like
with these.
ChatGPT better? My preference is Cloud. I use her. I don't know if it's her or him.
Well, don't
But I
get the
use
cloud. Don't
Cloud.
get the cloud's pronouns wrong. People are going to protest the Halving Report if we go down that road. I got a dog, so I'm out biking with him. He's a husky,
What's
so
the
he needs
breed?
husky Malamute.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
Huskies have such a beautiful eyes. I always just
yes.
merge within their eyes.
You can't bring him anywhere. You can't bring him anywhere without somebody complimenting him. But yeah, so he's definitely a high maintenance pet. So between that, I like to keep active as much as I can. Do yoga.
Yoga is
Enjoy.
one of
Yeah.
the also things to keep work balance. I love it. I'm
Yeah.
into yoga too. I've been 6 years doing yoga and meditating every day. Like in the
Oh, good
morning,
for
like
you.
before I ask the question, there's always 15-20 minutes of meditation. So I found, people say all the time, I don't have time for meditation, and that was me too. But what I figured it out when it's really so much easier for me when I just wake up. Like I just wake up, there's no brainer. I always put my headphones in, like a big headphones, and I just meditate for like 15-20 minutes, or sometimes it gets to 30-40 when I just don't get up from the bed when I'm not in the best myself. I kind of got this.
You have your headphones on. Are you listening to something, or are you just kind of
Yeah.
canceling out the noise? What do you
Yeah, I'm
listen to? Like a guided
listening.
meditation?
I love, and I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but I will absolutely promote this because I used them for 6 years. It's called New Calm. So it's NUCALM, New Calm.
Okay.
And they have been developing for like 10 years this technology of, they have like 5 different kind of set tones, like which is deep sleep, it's focus, it's more creativity, and then there's like a get-go one. And the Tony Robbins, he was one of the investors, and I found it when I was crew at the event at Tony Robbins. And it's literally, they have like this power nap feature, which is 20 minutes, and you can fall asleep and get such a good sleep in 20 minutes with
No
this
way.
power nap. It's amazing. So I always do it in the
Really?
morning. Yeah, and that's why 20 minutes. But if I don't feel it, like I just put loop, and it's just kind of looping it up. So for another 20 minutes, it's really good. Try it out, you guys. When I got them like super expensive. It was like a lifetime subscription. Now they have a subscription service like monthly. Try it out. Highly recommend. Absolutely amazing technology. So
Yeah.
mhm.
So you sleep and then you get up and you take a power nap right away.
Yeah.
It's a good way to start the day.
But it just feels like, to me, it's good music. So I really like it.
You like the
I
music?
actually never used it as a power nap. I always used it as in the morning thing, because I never take naps. I
Yeah.
don't have time for that.
I'm not much of a napper either. However, I do enjoy that quietness in the morning. I do like a quiet thing in the morning where I just like, I don't want to hear anything. I just like be silent and let myself like wake up, and sometimes like moving, doing some of those
Do you
yoga
sit in the
poses.
pose?
What's that?
Do you sit in like a pose to do something, or?
I usually hit downward dog like right away. I'll sit on like I'll sit on my ankles. Then I'm into downward dog. Like I'm getting out the cracks out of my body, and I'm just kind of like warming up, getting all the cracks out of my body really, and just stretching out. My calves are really tight when I wake up. It just feels really good to do that. So yeah, I guess that would be part of my work-life balance as well, getting my stretches in. But I will open it up for you, Viktoriia. If there's anything we haven't touched upon today that you think is worth mentioning, maybe words of wisdom or anything else. If not, we'll ask you where we can follow you and learn more.
Yeah, I will give this one example that I love giving in terms of like why Cheelee is really important, and it's really revolutionizing social media, because just think about, we're giving opportunity for people to earn from their common actions. They don't need to meditate more or do downward dogs, or walk more or run more. They do already exactly what they're doing every day. And sometimes you don't realize until it's highlighted. Like, we know Airbnb, do you know Airbnb, right? We know Uber. We will never think, like, assuming, audience knows that also. We're all living in the 21st century. But, like, did we have a problem before that we had apartment and it was not earning money? Or that we had a car and, a few cars and we didn't earn money? We didn't. We did not pay attention to this. And I think that's where the world is moving. Like, until you really don't know, and they highlighted the problem, and then people started to value their time, their assets more. So, we're doing the same, but we're doing the same for your time that you spend on social media. And you can find us at Cheelee, Cheelee.io. It's CHEELEE.io. And you can always find me, my first and last name. I'm Viktoriia Miracle. And yeah, that's my real last name. On Twitter, on Cheelee, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, anywhere, as well as Cheelee. Just Cheelee is Cheelee, everywhere is Cheelee. Yeah.
Do a lot of people ask you if Miracle is your last name? Your actual last name?
My actual last name is The Great Miracle, but I'm shortening for Miracle because it's a long story. I'm not going to go into this. You have to DM me for that.
Okay. All right. Maybe episode 2. Episode 2, the return.
You guys can comment below if you're watching this video, right, or podcast, or if you listening to this podcast. Yes, if there's any comment sections, I there's so many technologies right now. I don't know exactly which one you're listening to. Tell us in the comments. Do you want to know the story? Do you want the podcast number? And it's fine if you don't. Just say no. I don't care. But comment and tell us so we're curious. It will be good to know.
Thanks for doing the Halving Report podcast, Viktoriia.
Thank you for inviting me, Brad. It was great chatting with you. And we'll try to do downward dog in the morning too. We'll see how it goes.
I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
Okay. Is the dog repeating with you? The husky? Is it like coming?
Sometimes. Oh, no, actually,
I've seen this video, when the dogs and cats doing the same. It's like so cool.
Yeah, on YouTube, right? Yeah, no, he's too lazy. He doesn't get up. He doesn't get up in time. He just lays there until like I'm gone to work in the morning, and then
he's that person that like snooze the alarm, right?
Yeah, that would be him. If he was a person, he'd be snoozing the alarm.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks, Viktoriia. Hey you, thanks for listening to the Halving Report podcast. If you want to support, follow us on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a 5-star rating. Follow us on our socials at Halving Report. If you're Canadian and you want to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency for the first time, go to bitbuy.ca/halving for a $20 bonus. If you want to bring it to the next level and take self-custody of your cryptocurrencies, if you want $30 off the ultimate digital asset security device BitFi, go to halvingreport.com/BitFi for more information. Until next time, I'm Brad Mines.